Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Exposo North proudly brings to you two of the fastest or loudest speaking men in the world. Thili on the mic because he's live in the studio. Dablock over here on the right because I'm just doing my duty, yo. I ain't got to finish for that, so we just gonna have to get it going. I had all the hype and then I just fizzled out. Oh, what can I say? I'm like your typical mumble rapper.
Yeah. Fucking mumble rappers.
Oh, man. Oh, you're not even going to get started on that. That's for the other show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
Episode 5, baby.
Episode 5, 5 weeks in, you know what I mean? We just been on our grind. What we got going on here? So what's the latest with you, Thili?
You know, chilling. We got the show coming up next weekend.
May
from tonight.
May 18th.
May 18th at the Detour Music Hall on St. Paul Street in St. Catharines. So we're gonna be getting out there. Choom Gang headlining. I will be there in attendance on stage and everything. We obviously Dablock. We got Private Name, Private Number. We got Chronic Spirit, MBM Illest Noise, Toby G, Ali Mac, Lil Nucci, G Knowledge, and we got DJ D-Boy
in the building.
In the fucking building, dog. So it's gonna be dope. We're going to be live. Full set for everybody. Ain't nobody stopping early. And
get at us this week while the tickets are still $5 because they go up to 10 next door. Don't lose your luck.
Yeah,
yo, did you see Jacoby's post?
Pardon me?
Did you see Jacoby's post?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh, she put up the funniest post about how people are like, they're all supportive of the movement until they find out that you're moving and then they want to be moved. Basically. Like, you know what I mean? He was telling, the skit was he was telling his boy about how he had tickets for the show, but his boy didn't want to buy tickets for the show, but he was asking him if he knew anybody that had some blow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Disrespect.
Yeah, man. Total disrespect. You know what I mean?
That's mental. The one that I did see was the one about the Jordans. If they got money for Jordan, the one that you posted. If they got money for Jordans, they got money to support you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I even have a song where I say, "Don't buy get some property, wait, get some gold and keep your property, wait, build all your property, wait, maintain the property of your estate, wait." Should have called the song "Wait." Those are things that appreciate when you purchase them. Instead of spending dough on Jordans, just go buy stocks in Jordan and then be soaring on roaring. Similar to Griffin Doran. But we ain't here for music. We're here for Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
That's true. Let's get into some goddamn wrestling. And before we get into the main shows, I just want to say about the newest episode of that documentary series, Dark Side of the Ring, came out on Wednesday. It's about the death of gorgeous Gino Hernandez. That is an amazing story. Everybody go check that out. Even if you don't know who gorgeous Gino is, it's so worth a watch. You'll know him by the end of it.
They also have this series on YouTube called Lucky Break, where they
I haven't seen that.
Where they showcase. The last one I saw was Bob Sparkplug Holly. But
Sparkplug Holly?
Yeah, no, Bob Holly.
Oh, Bob. Yeah, I love Bob.
Yeah.
You gotta love Bob.
Bob Holly was sick still.
He's a straight shooter.
Yep.
That motherfucker will tell you exactly what he thinks about anybody he wants to tell you. And he will also, from back in the day, he would bust a motherfucker's ass in the ring. Like, he would hurt. If he didn't like you, watch out.
Yep. Okay, we get into this. Let's get into this. Seth Rollins and AJ Styles brace for monumental title collision. Mr. McMahon knew what he was doing when he ordered the Universal Champion Seth Rollins to team up with his Money in the Bank challenger AJ Styles in an impromptu tag team match this past Monday night on Raw. As tensions boiled over, assuredly to the chairman's delight, Styles hit Rollins with a seemingly accidental phenomenal forearm that left the Beast Slayer vulnerable to an end of days that sealed the win for their opponents, Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley. What's going through the minds of these superstars in the aftermath of that heated confrontation? Is this even this week's Raw?
Well, it sounds like it, but it sounds like you're ahead of, because there's the whole segment. The beginning should be WWE Champion Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns appear on Raw.
April.
I think.
Well, if that's what you have.
Yeah, because there's the whole wild card rule.
Okay. There we go. That's May 6th? It was May 6th? Yeah, it was, because today's the 12th. Today's the 11th. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had a hell of a week. Okay. Kingston, Bryan, and Reigns crash Raw, and the wild card rule is born. Cincinnati, he did it. Reigns showed up after a full weekend of will he or won't he speculation, complete with some passive aggression acts from the big dog to the official WWE Twitter account. The four-time world champion did as he promised and appeared at the top of the show, smack in the middle of Mr. McMahon's opening address to the WWE Universe. That would have been surprising enough, but the big dog didn't come alone. Reigns, who admitted he had come to Raw to rebuke McMahon family by going where he was needed rather than where he was assigned, was quickly followed by WWE Champion Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, who wasted no time rekindling their pre-WrestleMania hostilities. Luckily, their appearances led to an epiphany from the chairman, a wildcard rule that allows three superstars to make one-off appearances on the opposite brand that they are assigned to. And since he had three SmackDown superstars already, Mr. McMahon once again used their presences to his advantage by sanctioning two WrestleMania rematches. One between Reigns and Drew McIntyre, who appeared to puff his chest over the SmackDown ship jumpers infringing on his turf, and a WWE title bout between Kofi Kingston and Bryan. The chairman said it'll be a night to remember, and for all the chaos that unfolded, it seems like it couldn't have gone any more according to plan.
Yeah, so we'll get into it later, but this wild card rule, they did a horrible job with this, because it's confusing enough when all of a sudden a bunch of SmackDown guys show up and then Vince just says, "Oh, I'm a wild card. Now there's a wild card rule." Like, that's fine, whatever. But why is it that three can come over on any day, any week? What's the point of the brand split if they can just be anywhere they want?
It depends on, for me, it depends on what three go over and who they start with, who they fight with. Like, for me, it was a bit of a fit, like, except for the fact that the Kofi, Bryan, and Reigns McIntyre matches were probably two of the better matches on the WrestleMania card. Like, just rehashing old rivalries doesn't really serve as much purpose as starting new ones.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I agree. Kofi versus Daniel at Mania was probably one of, if not the best match of the night. I don't necessarily agree on Roman and McIntyre. I thought they kind of had a mediocre match overall at Mania. But my problem with it is, like, this is Raw. There's a Universal title on Raw, right? The WWE Championship is on SmackDown. Why do we have the main event of Raw being a SmackDown guy versus another SmackDown guy?
I think it's so the WWE title gets some shine on Raw.
I guess so, but, like, it's so weird that
I didn't look at it that way, though. That's an interesting way to put it.
because like they just had the SmackDown guys have him defended against the Raw guy, but then when you think about it, 2 weeks ago on the Raw after Mania, Kofi came out and brought the WWE title on Raw then because they started a match between him and Seth that just got stopped in the middle of it, but it was a match that started.
It got kiboshed so quick.
Yeah, so like I don't understand. Like it's just weird booking. Like it's really strange. I don't understand what they're doing. And like with the rules of it, like I don't understand the rules of it when they first explain it necessarily.
There you go.
But then later on in the night, they changed the rules again.
Maybe that's why they did it. So we the viewer don't have as much control because with Twitter nowadays, you can pretty much hijack the show. If you tweet the right stream, you can hijack the show.
Yeah. That's actually remind me. Bring up hijacking the show again later.
Okay.
I think there might be a hijacking that should happen.
All right.
But we'll get to that when we get to their segment.
You had mentioned Rollins earlier. Well, could Rollins and Styles coexist against Corbin or Lashley? One person who's not nuts about the new wild card rule, AJ Styles.
Thili. Oh, AJ Styles. Never mind. Yeah.
The phenomenal one is understandably miffed that just as he's about to put roots down on Raw, he has to deal with the possibility of Seth Rollins calling in backup in the Universal title match. Should he so choose, he went so far as to threaten to bring some friends over from Team Blue to watch his back. Mr. McMahon stressed the rule is invitation only. Rollins didn't seem too much. Jesus. Rollins didn't seem to need too much backup against the phenomenal one, hitting the scene and squaring up with his challenger so ferociously that Mr. McMahon decided to pair them as partners against a team of his choosing. That didn't go well for either challenger or the champion. For that matter, despite some early chemistry against the chairman's handpicked tandem of Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley, the bubbling animosity threatened to bubble over and reach each time there was a lull in action. Eventually, the two got their act together, but the errant phenomenal forearm, seemingly intended for Corbin, that leveled legal man Rollins, and the phenomenal one bailed on the match without a backwards glance rather than make it right. Corbin finished the match with the end of days to the Beast Slayer, who was understandably furious over the outcome. So could they coexist? In a word, no. But it was a noble experiment by the chairman, to be sure. But at the end of the day, some people just work better as enemies.
Yeah, this was a great match. It was really fun. Obviously, it's always fun when two people who are going to be fighting for a title are forced to tag against another team. Yeah, this was really cool. AJ versus Seth with AJ as the heel is going to be a phenomenal feud. Pardon the pun. It's going to be amazing, like all the way through. And I hope they make this a long feud. Like I hope Seth beats AJ at Money in the Bank, and then AJ calls out the club, and they beat the shit out of Seth, and we get the fucking club versus Seth Rollins, because that will be the shit.
The club versus Seth Rollins, would that not be reason to bring back members of the Shield?
Yeah, maybe, but you can't, because I've accepted that Dean is gone. Dean Ambrose is dead. Jon Moxley is alive, and Jon Moxley, I think, should and is going to AEW. I can't believe I'm saying that because I wanted him to stay so badly, but I actually think it's probably better for him if he goes to AEW.
Yeah, AEW is making some waves right now. Like, it's coming up on my timeline a lot on my YouTube timeline.
Yeah. Anybody who hasn't seen old school Jon Moxley, go look it up, because he was like the Indies Mick Foley.
Oh,
like
shit.
hardcore matches, death matches, all that kind of stuff. That was what Jon Moxley was all about. And judging by that promo video he put out where he wraps the barbed wire around his fist at the end, I think it's safe to say he's going to be going more towards that kind of a route.
Wow. Well, that's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing. Whatever he does next, I think, is going to be fucking incredible.
Braun Strowman silences Sami Zayn with a trip to the trash. Wow. For 3 weeks, Sami Zayn has made his life purpose to insult the moral fiber of the WWE Universe. But, if we're being honest, it was only a matter of time before someone decided to shut him up. To Zayn's great detriment, that someone turned out to be Braun Strowman. And while the critic of the critics' cat-like agility didn't diminish a bit during his time on the shelf, the monster among men has wheels of his own. Strowman pursued Zayn relentlessly through the bowels of the arena, quickly gaining ground despite taking bundles of paper towels and assorted backstage detritus.
I don't know what that word is.
Detritus? To the face. Whatever. When Strowman finally got his hands on Zayn, he promptly dumped the former NXT champion in a dumpster. Moments before, the garbage truck dumped his contents of the container in its bed. Adding to the surrealistic nature of the chaos, the Lucha House Party dispatched a trio of locals seconds after the chase had concluded. Clearly, Strowman isn't the only one who likes to let his actions do the talking.
Yeah, so this is a weird thing. Like, I don't know what's going on with Lucha House Party, but they're giving them some sort of a push.
Yeah.
Like they brought in enhancement talent. They brought jobbers in for them to have a 6-man with. I don't understand it. It's okay. Like, okay, get your money, Kalisto.
That's it. Yo, honestly, hey, you want to know the real thing? Funny thing? Fucking Lindsay Dorado added me on Twitter.
Oh, that's awesome.
And shortly after he added me on Twitter, I put a shout out to him in one of my tracks.
Nice.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't remember which track it is because I made so GDMF many.
Yeah.
but, yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. No, I love they're all really good wrestlers. All of them are really good.
Oh,
I'm not a huge fan of the gimmick, but they're all great wrestlers.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Robert Roode makes a play for Ricochet's Money in the Bank berth. You got your wish with the Robert Roode. Huh?
Can I just say I fucking love Robert Roode?
Oh, man.
He's the best.
Nobody much raised an eyebrow when Ricochet was named to the men's Money in the Bank match on merit. After all, it's pretty much tailor-made contest for the former NXT North American champion skills. And it's a near guarantee he's going to do something nuts. But it's hard to argue against Robert Roode's frustration with being passed over, given that he's the only man to pin Ricochet in WWE. At least the McMahon family seem to think so, granting Roode a win and you're in match against his rival after some backstage wheeling and dealing. But the outcome of that contest left little doubt as to who deserved to go to the Money in the Bank, the WWE Money in the Bank. I'm leaving words out because I'm not seeing them as fast as I'm reading the other stuff, okay? We got an hour and maybe a half here. Throw me a bone, but don't hit me in the head. I'm sensitive.
Give us a break.
Give me that Kit Kat bar.
Bam.
In short, they got it right the first time, as Ricochet withstood an aggressive full-court press from the Glorious One to retain his money berth via 630. It was a firm reminder of not just his athleticism, but his perseverance. The win was come from behind by any measure, and he'll need both of his skills if he wants to win Money in the Bank ladder match, if he wants to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. As for Robert Roode, he'll surely politic his way to another opportunity eventually. As far as WWE Money in the Bank is concerned, however, he'll go no further.
Oh, he's gonna. I think he's gonna interfere in the Money in the Bank match.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's how. I think that's why Ricochet's not going to win it. Like, because they want Ricochet to look super strong in that match. Because anybody who hasn't seen NXT Takeover, I think it was Chicago maybe, but it was NXT Takeover where they had the first ever NXT North American title match, and it was a 6-man ladder match between Velveteen Dream. I think Lars Sullivan was actually in that match.
I believe so.
And then Adam Cole,
baby,
Ricochet, and one other person.
Wasn't it Killian Dane?
Oh yeah, it was Killian Dane. You're right.
It's Killian Dane. Yeah. I got memory.
That 6-man ladder match was fucking incredible.
It was crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah, and Ricochet was fucking insane in it. So they know he's gonna kill it in a multi-man ladder match. Now he's got 8 people to work with, and he's got to look super strong in that. He's the most high-flying motherfucker in that match. So I figure to make him still look strong, if he's gonna, continue forward but not be getting the Money in the Bank because he's a face and he doesn't need Money in the Bank, he should have a feud with Robert Roode, because these two have been putting on great matches, and I think Robert Roode is a perfect heel for Ricochet.
Okay, all right.
Big, powerful motherfucker, but he's glorious and charismatic. He can, he can help Ricochet with his promo game.
No doubt in that. Okay, Lacey Evans' power play provokes aggressive response. There's a difference between being a champion and a locker room leader. Lacey Evans, were finding out, may well have it in her to become the former at WWE Money in the Bank at the expense of Becky Lynch. The latter, however, is a different story. For all the dominance she showed in her rout of a local competitor named Ali Katrina on Raw, the lady of the WWE did nothing to endear herself to her fellow superstars when she sent out formal attire ringside invitations to the Raw Women's Money in the Bank competitors. While Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Dana Brooke, and Natalya did indeed surround the ring as per Lacey's request, they were subject to a round of insults from the lady and made their displeasures known by standing aside when Lynch appeared to brawl her with her challenger. Evans briefly traded haymakers with Becky before heading to higher ground, though being forced into retreat did little to dim her confidence. Again, she had more than a fighting chance and may well turn the man into Becky One Belt when all said and done.
No.
The respect of her peers, that might be a little harder to obtain, win or lose. Honestly, there were people who didn't think Becky was going to win the belt when Ronda was the only title holder. And I didn't see Charlotte winning the belt before the match. But, you know what? I did see Becky 2 belts.
I saw Becky 2 belts.
I think you even called it.
Yeah, she can't lose to Lacey Evans yet. She can't.
No.
So she's going to beat Lacey Evans, and I hope she beats Charlotte, but if she's going to lose to anybody at Money in the Bank, it's going to be Charlotte.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think she's going to lose to Charlotte, but I'm just saying, like, of the 2 matches she has, there's way better chance that she beats Charlotte or that she loses to Charlotte than she loses to Lacey. Like, no way Lacey beats her.
Okay.
It'd be a travesty.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be right still. But then again...
It's too quick. She just got them.
Hey, man, you saw what happened with the women's tag team titles.
Yeah, but the Iconics are awesome.
But no doubt. But there's rumor or there's word going around that they were supposed to hold it until the Saudi Arabia match and defend it then.
Yeah, that's what they wanted, and that's what they were probably assured. But plans change. And like I said, she could lose to Lacey. I would be shocked, and usually, if you shock me in wrestling, that's a good thing. Like if WWE does something that completely shocks me, I'm there for it. I'm definitely there for it because I like not knowing what's coming.
Okay. Ryder and Hawkins try their luck against the Viking Raiders. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins have managed to avoid the Viking Raiders ever since losing to them in their Raw debut, which is good news for the fan favorites' fledgling Raw Tag Team title reign. But the champs got a good look at what the future might hold when they squared up with Eric and Ivar in a non-title match and found themselves steamrolled by the Raiders, despite an impressive opening sequence that saw them force Ivar against the ropes with quick tags and teamwork. Even after Eric entered the fray, Ryder and Hawkins stuck to their strategy and seemed like they might pull off the win, until an overzealous Hawkins found himself kneed to oblivion by Eric, leaving the Ultimate Broski alone to suffer the Viking experience and a reality check with it. As impressive as Ryder and Hawkins have been since winning the titles, they've definitely been the recipients of some good luck and better timing along the way. If there's a takeaway from the match, it's that luck didn't save them, and time may be running out. You know what?
This is bullshit. Sorry, one moment. This is bullshit. This is alternative. This is alternative history. They're trying to rewrite history in this article. Ryder and Hawkins have not been impressive over the fucking course of their title reign at all.
You've hated them since they won the title.
I hated them since before they won the titles because I knew they were going to win the titles off top guys. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. They're not impressive. Every single one of their wins has been booked as a fluke. They're not impressive. They're garbage.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please forgive my co-host, ladies and gentlemen. He has a tendency of speaking how he feels.
Top guy. Top guy.
Oh man. All right. It's picnic time on Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. But where's Rambling Rabbit? I saw this sequence.
It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing ever, and I love it.
The trio's down to 2 on Firefly Funhouse as Bray Wyatt entered his humble abode to find that Mercy, the buzzard, had torn Rambling Rabbit to pieces. He had apparently tried to force the bird to adhere to his bohemian worldview of ideologies. But as we all learned last week, self-expression is important. And as far as Bray Wyatt is concerned, ripping the bunny apart was just Mercy's way of conveying his feelings. That was worth a reward. Picnic time, with a gaggle of dead-eyed children who stared blankly at the camera while Wyatt waved giddily at the audience. The slightly unsettling image made this jovial sign-off somewhat ominous in context. See you next week! Sounds like he's coming live.
I love it. I love it so much. It's the weirdest thing in wrestling. They're keeping true to the spirit of like broken Matt Hardy style. Those kids were creeping me out.
Fully.
And I love his. I don't know why they used his sign off of "Just see you next week." The real sign off part is the thing where he says, "He's like, now remember, Fireflies, I will always light the way. You just have to let me in." That's the sign off, and that's just creepy as fuck.
Creepy as fuck.
Totally unsettling, and fuck me. Like,
it really
so
makes me,
weird.
it gives me chills.
It's so fucked. I don't know when it's coming. Like, I don't know. I'm guessing another one of the puppets is gonna die next week.
Maybe.
And like, because I feel like that's why they're starting with the in this article the trio's down to 2, because we're gonna be next week we'll probably be down to 1. Like I'll bet you, I am going to predict. This is the first time I've ever tried to do this. I'm going to predict what the article is going to say next week for the Bray Wyatt Funhouse part. It's going to start with the sentence, "and then there was one."
He said it here first, ladies and gentlemen, and we have documented proof. You know why? Because this is Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
I bet you anything they started with that, because it's... And once there's only one left, then Bray maybe will kill Mercy or something like that, and it'll go to real creepy Bray and get the matches in, and hopefully get a really cool story out of it.
Without getting injured.
Without getting injured, please. I love Bray Wyatt so much. I just want him to have an awesome storyline.
Telling you, he's good, but he keeps getting injured.
I know.
All right. Reigns and McIntyre clash under the wild card rule. The wild card rule certainly lived up to its name in the very first bout under its banner. As a WrestleMania rematch between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre led the four-way brawl encompassing two Raw superstars, two SmackDown superstars, and a member of the McMahon family to boot. McIntyre more or less had his way with the big dog for most of the match until Reigns was hit with what would have been a match-ending spear on his last legs. But the pinfall was broken up by Reigns' SmackDown rivals Shane McMahon and Elias, and brought out The Miz, who had been lying in wait for Shane O'Mac outside his private dressing room, and chased off the best in the world with a steel chair in hand. The aftermath of the match, Reigns found himself pulverized by a claymore from McIntyre, while the A-lister tracked down Shane in the backstage area and went to town, blistering the former Team Blue commissioner with several swings of the chair. Unfortunately for Miz, Shane fought him off with a low blow and managed to escape in his private limo, leaving the Awesome One's request for retribution unfinished for now. Call it narrow victory for Reigns' rivals, though they'd be wise to keep things in perspective. After all, wildcard rule goes both ways, and they might not be as safe as they think.
Yeah, this is an okay segment. It was, the match was good, and then all of a sudden Shane McMahon was there to fight Roman, I guess because Roman super punched Vince last week on
2 weeks ago.
Or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, right, 2 weeks ago.
Superman punch!
Exactly. So, I don't know. This is okay, but this is all under that wild card rule, which, as they said in the article earlier, I am not a huge fan of. So I don't. Yeah, it was okay. It's fine. We'll see where they go.
Okay. The Usos strike again, and Sullivan rears his head on Raw. The Usos' prank war against the Revival continue to be a one-sided affair, as Jimmy and Jay followed up their shower cam footage from last week by filling Dash and Dash's trunk with sweat-activated Icy Hot, or Oozy Hot, cream that fired up just moments before the top guys were scheduled to face Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. It turns out exactly like you might imagine, as the Revival frantically ran about the stage and eventually exited before their match began. Less jovial was the arrival of No Way Jose moments later, as the Dominican dancing machine was interrupted by a wild-eyed Lars Sullivan, who took advantage of the wildcard rule to wreak havoc on Raw. The Freak made short work of Jose and his conga line, leaving beads and human burgers and one particularly unfortunate human hot dog in his wake as he forged a one-man path of destruction. A brief rally by Jose was summarily snuffed out, and the Freak finished his business with the running sit-out powerbomb. Is that not the freak of nature? Should that not be called the freak of nature?
It should be, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I don't think any of his moves should have a name.
I know that, personally speaking, I think Andrade should change his finisher's name to Que Paso. Just hit him with it, stand up, and just shrug his shoulders. Que Paso. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I feel like it should just be the Tranquilo.
Okay, that one works too. Have they named his finisher yet?
Maybe. I can't remember.
I don't remember hearing a name for any finisher that he's used in recent weeks. So we're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep suggesting finisher names.
A lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he switches his shit up a lot. He wins with different moves all the time.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see which ones they are, and then we'll just name them. I gotta start naming WWE moves, like the draping DDT. I call that the dead man's DDT.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Just like, but then the dead man's DDT is actually the one on the barricade. Randy Orton, you know how he drapes him on the ropes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You'll note that Lars Sullivan is the 5th SmackDown superstar to appear on Raw, despite Mr. McMahon setting a very clear cap at 3. But as the chairman explained backstage on the telephone call, Elias doesn't count because he accompanied Shane McMahon. As for Lars, after a worldless confrontation with the Freak in which Sullivan simply stared down the chairman, Mr. McMahon decided to change it to 4 superstars apiece. Clearly, even among wildcards, Lars Sullivan stands alone.
Yeah, so Lars Sullivan. Everybody can look it up if they want to. There's a big controversy with Lars Sullivan and things that he said. It's not even just an alleged thing that he said. He has admitted that these were him. He says it changed and all that stuff. Now, it's pretty awful shit that he said. So, I mean, I don't like this fucking guy. I feel like he's kind of I think he should have to fuck off. Big E put out a really good tweet about it. So did Kalisto, actually. They both did. Because he talks shit about, black people. He talks shit about Mexicans. He talks shit about people with mental health disorders. And a whole bunch of other shit. So if you want to see what he said, you can look it up online. But we're not going to bring it up here.
Yeah, no, that ain't... We're not going to give him that much shine on here for that. You know what I mean?
No, but if anybody's at a WWE show when he comes out and they want to kind of, make sure people know how they, make sure the people in the back know how they feel about him, the term "you're a racist" fits really well in between a clap.
It does! I just played it out in my head!
Just saying. It works if people wanted to do it. Not that they should, but, it would totally be working.
Yeah.
So maybe they should.
Oh, man. That is too funny. Okay, we got the last one. Bryan kicks it to the limit in WrestleMania rematch for WWE title. You want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah, this is the one where 2 SmackDown guys were the main event on Raw. There would have been no bigger way for Daniel Bryan to reclaim the mantle of the planet's champion and the bully pulpit that goes with it than by dethroning Kofi Kingston on night 1 of the Wild Card rule in Raw's first true WWE title match since 2016. But the power of positivity is not quite done just yet. The Dreadlock Dynamo miracle run continues. Despite a fearsome effort from the Beard that nearly sapped all the pancake power out of Kofi. This is an awful crap.
I was waiting for that!
What are they doing?
Oh my gosh.
They're putting every single possible thing that you could call Kofi.
Every moniker.
With the New Day in one fucking, it's one run-on sentence. Dreadlock down, pancake power, Kingston, thanks to a rough landing over the ropes and a targeted attack on Kofi's arm. With Kofi worn down from Bryan's strikes and submissions, the champion was deer in the headlights, helpless, until against a running knee. But a wobbly-legged Kingston dodged the maneuver, wormed his way out of a label lock, and connected with the Trouble in Paradise to the jaw, grounding Bryan for 3 and keeping the magic alive. History made again, Bryan thwarted again, and now it can happen any place, at any time. It's a new day.
Yes, it is. I feel like we should play the main event song, like the song of the main event's winner or something like that. don't know the words, but
God,
like,
I love the New Day song.
we good. We good. We good.
It's so
All right.
Who's got a better song?
Who?
Who?
20 years of SmackDown with the new book.
That's pretty cool.
What is that? Who is that?
Who is who?
Who is that? What is going on here on SmackDown? Hold on a second. Are we on the same page yet?
No. Give me 1 sec. Let me open
All
up
right.
my phone here. My bad.
No. It's all good. It's all good.
What is,
Life happens. That looks like Kofi Kingston. It looks like he's being powerbombed. Is that Sami Zayn?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Wow.
You didn't know what the main event for SmackDown was?
No.
Oh,
No, bro. I'm just here. I'm just catching the show.
Yep, it is a WWE title match. So 2 nights in a row, the main event were WWE title matches with your boys, the New Day.
Kofi Kingston. All right.
Your boys.
Give me a second.
Bam. Take your time.
So. Oh my gosh. All right. The wild card rule sets up an unexpected WWE Championship match. With Mr. McMahon's wild card rule having played a major role in Monday's Raw, it seemed like a safe bet that would do the same on SmackDown Live. Turns out, it would be more than major. It would be phenomenal. Raw superstars AJ Styles wasted no time using the wild card rule to touch down with the blue brand, proclaiming that it was still the house that AJ Styles built. Raw's Sami Zayn, fresh out of the dumpster, Braun Strowman threw him in the night before, promptly interrupted and demanded that AJ go back to Raw, where he belonged. WWE Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods quickly interrupted, and Kofi suggested that he is willing to defend the WWE title against a phenomenal one tonight. However, Zayn wouldn't allow it, saying he was the most deserving of the WWE Championship opportunity because he tells it like it is to the WWE Universe. Kofi responded boldly, though, saying after his defeat of Daniel Bryan last night, he proved that he was here to stay as WWE Champion and confident he could beat both Styles or Zayn and could happily defend his title against either of them tonight. But it would shortly after be announced that Kofi would defend the title against both superstars in a triple threat match. Dang.
Yup. Oh yeah, it was a great match.
My gosh.
Yeah, they did some really, really funny stuff in this too. Like right when Sammy got in the ring, AJ was like covering his nose from the Sammy being thrown in the dumpster. Called him out on it, and Sammy didn't deny still stinking. He's like, I did take a shower. It just takes more than one to get the smell out. And then when New Day got in, they both immediately went like, Jesus, Sammy, take a shower.
Oh man.
They're genius. Those three have great chemistry.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't do the pros and cons of Raw.
We'll do pros and cons of the whole week.
Sounds like a plan. I was just trying to get some of this food in.
Oh, okay. So pros and cons of Raw. Con, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Con, the wild card rule existing. Pros, Usos are pretty goddamn funny. Top guys are pretty goddamn funny. So that was a really good segment. Bray Wyatt is creeping me the fuck out. That's a positive. Yeah, lots. I'm trying to remember what else. There's some good matches too. I was sour over that whole wild card rule. I was real foul on it.
I don't know. I think it could actually pay some dividends.
It could if they do it right.
Yeah. They have to listen to the fans.
It was a bad introduction.
Mm-hmm. Well then.
That's my only problem with it. It's like it was just sloppily done.
Okay. We're back. Randy Orton interrupted Ali versus Andrade out of nowhere. With the men's Money in the Bank ladder match less than 2 weeks away, two of the superstars from SmackDown Live, Ali and Andrade, looked to make a statement at the other's expense. I had to edit that as I was reading. I know it didn't say what I said, but it still sounded proper. Grammarly. Either way, prior to the match, Andrade boldly declared that Ali would be lucky to even make it to Money in the Bank event after the battle. Both wanting to gain victory at a psychological advantage heading into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The two superstars went full force, but neither can claim victory thanks to Randy Orton. Without warning, the Viper slid into the ring and blindsided both Ali and Andrade. After Zelina Vega grabbed Andrade's leg to prevent Orton from dropping him with a DDT. However, Ali and Andrade both got their licks in on the Viper. Ali avoided an RKO and hit Orton with several stinging blows, but Ali and Andrade were each leveled with the ring-rattling RKOs by the Apex Predator. Orton lifted Ali into the air and caught him with the RKO on the way down, and Andrade felt the same move. Damn. Andrade felt the same move when he launched himself off the top rope at Orton. After taking out the pair, Orton eyed the Money in the Bank briefcase, a prize he conceivably could obtain if he once again rains down RKOs at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Yo, he's not playing, eh? Orton's back for real.
Yeah, I don't think I hope he doesn't win. It'd be weird. Do we need another Randy Orton title run?
It'll be 15.
It would be. Maybe it's overall to build to something with Cena later. I don't know. I don't know who I think's gonna win it. It's a call up. I'm excited for Money in the Bank because I really don't know who's gonna win.
See, now it's becoming a less predictable.
Yeah, which is nice.
Okay. Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Okay, how comes Rowan didn't come over with Brian?
Pardon me?
How comes Rowan didn't come over with Brian?
I have no idea. Just maybe because they just wanted him to come back that night, and he would have counted as another superstar. I don't know. It didn't seem like they thought ahead enough to be able to say that. So I have no idea why.
Okay. Daniel Bryan and Rowan defeat the Usos to become SmackDown Live. What?
Oh yeah, by the way.
Tag team champions.
Yeah.
After the Hardy Boys were forced to relinquish the tag team titles last week on the Blue Brand, Shane McMahon promised to crown new champions here tonight. Of course, Shane verbally lambasted the people of Louisville for announcing that he'd chosen Daniel Bryan and Rowan to be the new SmackDown tag team champions. However, before he could bestow the titles upon them, Raw superstars the Usos arrived via the wildcard rule and convinced Shane that Bryan and Rowan should have to earn the titles in a match against the Usos right now for the vacant championships. Shane co-signed and the two teams went at it. With Bryan and Rowan looking to earn the titles they were almost given by surviving the Uso penitentiary. In a ferocious battle, Bryan and Rowan looked to corner and ground the Usos as often as possible. Jimmy and Jay refused to stay down, though, battling back seemingly closing in on the victory that would see them take the SmackDown Tag Team titles to Raw. In the closing moments, Rowan withstood a barrage of super kicks and connected with the Iron Claw to Jay that secured a 3 count and the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep, that was that one. I actually ended up knowing that. I saw a spoil, like someone had posted that on Twitter before I watched SmackDown, so I already known that going in. But it was a good match. They fought really well. All 4 guys can work, so they put it in for sure.
Okay.
And it led directly into the very next segment. Like, it was just, I'm surprised they didn't put this all as one.
Hmm. The Miz and Shane once again got into a wild card brawl. I'm still chewing.
No worries.
Following the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, Shane saw fit to stay in front of the WWE Universe and discuss the high stakes at WWE Money in the Bank. But he was blindsided by Miz, who will face Shane at WWE Money in the Bank in a steel cage match. Bam! The A-lister, who also attacked Shane on Raw last night, unloaded on his nemesis, but former Miz Taraj members, the B-Team, quickly hit the scene and attacked Miz. As Axel and Bo Dallas pounded away, Shane began to depart. However, when Miz started to turn around on Axel and Dallas, Shane O'Mac returned and drilled Miz across the back with a steel chair. Shane again struck Miz with the chair, firmly laying him out, but referee won't be a chains disposal when the two collide in a steel cage match at WWE Money in the Bank.
I thought it was really clever of them to have Shane using the B team, which is the former Miz Taraj, as backup. That was pretty cool. I'm excited for Shane versus the Miz in a steel cage. That's going to be a good match. That's going to be a really goddamn good match, and I think maybe B team might try to get involved, but I think the Miz is going to win.
They've been pushing him well.
Yeah, I think he's going to win. If he doesn't win this match, then that, to me, that means they're going to stretch the feud for one more pay-per-view and have Shane versus The Miz either at that upcoming Saudi show or at another pay-per-view, and Miz will go over in that match.
It's possible. And you've been on point so far.
I tried, man.
You've been very... For those of you that have heard us for the past couple of weeks, he predicted the whole Bobby Roode going heel.
I did. I mean, that was obvious. I don't even want to take credit for predicting that.
I didn't see it.
He had to go heel.
I didn't see it happening. I thought maybe they'd just get another run eventually.
He's just going to be smiling Bob Roode forever.
Smiling Bob Roode. Probably not. We put it that way.
Like, fucking annoying.
Oh, okay.
He was an annoying face, but now he's like a dirt bag heel, which is awesome.
Oh man. When you play the part, you gotta do it well. And like, I saw his heel play. I saw him as a heel in NXT, and he just rubbed me the wrong way. Pause.
Exactly, man. He's fucking. When he's a heel, he knows how to make people hate him, which is exactly what you want from a heel.
Exactly. Speaking of heels, we have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville defeat Carmella and Ember Moon.
Yeah.
This tag team match would have major implications on the upcoming Money in the Bank pay-per-view, as 3 of 4 superstars representing SmackDown Live in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match squared off on the Blue brand. Fire and Desire used their experience as a team to their advantage, with Sonya Deville sacrificing herself for Mandy Rose in order for God's greatest creation to hit Ember Moon with several high-impact maneuvers to get the win, as Carmella was down on the outside. After the victory, Paige arrived to remind everyone that Asuka and Kairi Sane were ready to overtake the women's tag team division, and it would start next week with Mandy and Sonya. Well,
this is cool. I'm interested to see how this goes, because so if next week Mandy and Sonya, I think Asuka and Kairi have to win next week, because I can't remember which of them, but like either Mandy, Sonya, or both are in the Money in the Bank women's match. So they're not gonna. Neither of them are pulling double duty. I don't see either of them as like, that type of performer yet.
Okay. Okay.
Like pulling double duty on a night is really rough. I don't know if any of them are like have enough time in the ring to do double duty.
Well, with the amount of men that have been doing it recently, double duty, and they have been doing the double duty too.
Right, all very experienced people.
True. Very true.
Like, Becky's been doing this since she's 18. So is Seth.
Okay.
So, it's, I mean, Kofi too. Kofi's been doing this for 11 years. Just in WWE.
Kofi's been wrestling in the WWE as long as I've been with my wife. Bam.
Yeah.
I draw parallels. Forgive me. People are like, what does that have to do with anything? Everything for me.
Yeah. But like Sonya and Mandy, like Mandy was on Tough Enough season 2015. You know what I mean? Like it's only
4 years.
6 years. Yeah, exactly. So it's gotta. I just don't know if they're. I don't know if they're ready for double duty, or if they're the type of performers that you necessarily want doing double duty right now. Like just because they. To be fair, they don't put on 5-star matches. You know what I mean?
All right. Speaking of 5-star matches,
yeah.
WWE Champion Kofi Kingston defeats Sami Zayn and AJ Styles in a triple threat match.
Boom.
WWE Kofi Kingston Champion Kofi. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long week, okay?
That's his new nickname. WWE Kofi Kingston.
WWE Champion Kofi Kingston ain't scared of no wild cards. That much we know. For the second straight night, Kofi Kingston embraced Mr. McMahon's new wild card rule by defending his WWE Championship against unexpected opponents. AJ Styles and Sami Zayn looked to bring the WWE titles back to Raw, but Kingston was steadfast in his confidence, taking on the dynamic attacks of both Styles and Zayn and firing back with his own. The contest was highlighted by Kofi hitting a dazzling splash that sent all of his body weight crashing down on Styles' back, Zayn nailing Kofi with a picture-perfect suplex, a massive hurricane runner from Styles to Zayn, and Kofi landing one of the most innovative SOSs of all time. That saw Styles drop Zayn with a reverse DDT. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This match is worth going back and watching.
In the closing moments, Kevin Owens, who earlier in the night claimed he was leaving the arena and to celebrate his birthday, arrived and took out Xavier Woods with a brutal attack. This distraction allowed Zayn to connect with 3 blue thunder bombs on Kingston, but the Dreadlock Dynamo refused to stay down and incredibly kicked out each time. A frustrated Zayn switched up his strategy, sizing up Kofi for the Helluva Kick, but the WWE Champion once again found a way, connecting with Trouble in Paradise for 3 to retain his title in an instant classic brought to us by the wildcard rule. In a post-match interview at ringside, a fired-up Kofi tended to fallen Woods and exclaimed that there would be hell to pay for Kevin Owens at WWE Money in the Bank. Well then.
It's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait to see. I am so amped for this pay-per-view. I almost just want to skip. I wish next week would just skip until Saturday so we could just do the show, and then I could go to sleep until Money in the Bank.
Yo, honestly, man, I'm probably gonna be doing something similar to that. Straight.
Oh yeah.
Straight.
I'm getting lit up. I'm getting lit up at that show.
Oh man, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna sleep until fucking Money in the Bank after that show. I'm gonna get off stage. I'm gonna go home. Hopefully have some fun. Then send them off and do what I gotta do.
Wow. Maybe we're gonna I don't know. Maybe we do the live and have you in the window and we just you know what I mean? Because I don't know. Can you join a Twitch, a live Twitch?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
I should be able to do.
We'll have to practice that.
We'll look into that.
Yeah, we'll look into that or something. We'll try that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Positively, definitely. All right. So now I I quoted, I hashtag New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, UFC, and what else? No, NJPW, UFC, AEW, and NXT.
Yeah.
And NXT.
Oh, okay. So NXT, it seems like Roderick Strong is leaving the Undisputed Era.
Really?
Yeah, it does seem that way. Sorry, 1 second here. And what else? I haven't seen what happened yet. I just saw the spoilers kind of thing online. But it does seem like Roderick is quitting. I'm hoping it's going to be a swerve, and like he's quitting so that he can turn on whoever he's like trying to get together with. But we'll see. Other than that, NXT has its standalone takeover coming up. It's NXT Takeover 25.
Really?
So it's their 25th one. They announced the card. It's up online. Let me just pull it up here. So, yeah, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. Who else? There's also the Viking stuff in the Frost thing. The Viking War Raiders thing still are on NXT. The case of the War Raiders for the tag team titles. And then I think there's also a couple other matches. Like I think Velveteen Dream is defending the North American title against somebody, but they haven't said who. And I think Matt Riddle also will have a match. So that's going to be really cool. And that is going to be on... It's going to be in Connecticut, which is interesting because they've never done an NXT takeover Connecticut. And that's going to be so that's coming up in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Tonight is a big UFC, like it's an actual pay-per-view tonight. It is UFC 237. It's coming from Dennis Arena, which is in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. There's, I think, one title fight. Yeah, one title fight. The main event is Rose Namajunas defending the women's strawweight title against Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade is a billion, so Rose is defending enemy territory this one. Co-main event, Jared Cannonier versus Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva, obviously a legend, obviously Brazilian legend, so he's going to be the crowd favorite. But Jared Cannonier is a savage beast. He will knock Anderson the fuck out if Anderson leaves his chin out the way he did in his last fight. Like, he will knock him flat out unconscious. And at his age, I don't think he should fight with his chin out like that so much.
No.
And then the last one I'll go over here is not one of the main events, but it is the third highest on the card, which is another Brazilian legend, featherweight second GOAT, I would say, Jose Aldo versus Alexander Volkanovski. Volkanovski is a bit of a savage. He's 19-1, which is a pretty impressive record.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo is 28-4. And is on a 3-win streak, a 3-fight win streak. All of them are KOs, like TKOs, every single one of them. So Jose Aldo's looking better than he has in years. Like, since Conor knocked him out in 14 seconds, Jose has looked like a broken man. And then his last 3 fights, he's back, like, and he's killing it. So if he wins this weekend, he may find himself in contention for another featherweight title shot against Max Holloway or whoever the title holder is at that time.
Okay.
So yeah, that's going to be a really good fight. Check it out on what's it called, ESPN Plus or Fight Pass, or if you have to, there's always streams. It's going to be a really good main event. A really good top 3 fights. The rest of the card looks pretty stacked as well. One other one, actually, I do want to bring up is another legend versus legend fight. BJ Penn is fighting Clay Guida.
Oh, okay.
BJ Penn, 16 wins, 13 losses, 2 ties, or 2 draws. And Clay Guida, 34 wins, 18 losses, and 0 draws. So those two have been around for forever. So they're actually curtain jerking on the prelims. They're the first fight on the prelims today, and that starts at 8 p.m.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Whew. NJPW.
New Japan, I don't have anything on New Japan since the stuff from last week, actually. But I will be keeping my eyes open. They've got an event in the States, Dominion, coming up soon. That's the one where Jericho is facing Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title. So that's going to be a very, very interesting match. So I'll keep you updated on when that's coming up.
All right, all right.
And then AEW, we are apparently, like, within days of an announcement of a TV deal for AEW, and like the rumors are saying, it is going to be Turner. So they are definitely following in WCW's footsteps.
Maybe they're just going to do everything they didn't do right.
Hopefully they do all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. Like,
yeah.
If they do everything up to, like, the year 2000 style, they're good. After that, not so much.
Not so much, no.
Not so much. Don't do Judy Bagwell on a pole match. Nobody needs that. So, yeah, it's going to be announced for Turner. They'll be announcing a pre-show for All or Nothing. Or, sorry, Double or Nothing. Let me see. Let me get the date for that, because that's coming up way sooner than I thought. AEW Double or Nothing. Yeah, holy shit. So AEW's first pay-per-view is on May 25th.
Okay.
So that is 2 weeks from today.
Now. Good thing it wasn't on the 18th.
Yeah. Sorry, AEW, but...
you know.
Better plan. But, yeah, this is gonna... yeah. We'll have to figure something out for that, because maybe we can do like a live stream reaction to it from my place here with the PlayStation.
Okay.
On Twitch. But yeah, we'll figure something out for that. 'Cause that's cool.
Yeah. Sounds gravy.
Hell yeah. But yeah, that's about it.
That's about it for me, really. I ain't got much more to say unless you like wrestling and music. You can come on our way. May 18th, Saturday. We gonna have some gang fun in the party.
Come out and smoke a joint and talk wrestling with us out front.
You see it? Hey, there might be an ooh-wop in the building.
Ooh-wop.
Ooh-wop, ooh-wop, ooh-wop. Yeah, so, oh man, it's kind of funny how I tried not to be a prick to someone who I had every reason to be a prick to, and now their conduct is making me want to be more of a prick. It's just like...
Do it.
It's just like, come on, man. Come on, let's be serious now. Let's be serious now. Nah, it's karma. I'm just going to say, Jesus, you see how you know. What me I try to do is good. And if it's no good, I pray you stop me before I get hurt. It's all. It's all. That's all. You see me? So,
that's all you need, bruh.
We brought you that WWE, that RAW, that SD Live, that NXT, that NJPW. Well, there wasn't really that much NJPW, but there was some AEW. Yeah, we covered all those bases, so we can hashtag it, and we're not gonna get any copyrights to worry about because we're just using our voices. Haha.
Yeah. Haha. Fuck you, copyright.
Take that, YouTube. Take that. Either way, this has been Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
Yeah.
We gone.